I'm so glad you could join me. The weather's mental up here, up high in the mountains, in Chroin here in the Highlands of Scotland. And I'm so happy that you're here to join me for this wee adventure, for this wee chat. My name is Paul McIntyre, the Tartan Hiker. We're going to have another great adventure hike today. We're headed up to a double header of mountains here, of An Caisteal and Beinn. It's a very windy one. It's absolutely perfect weather for hiking, for mountaineering. And I've been taking my time. You know that I've just been realising things as I age, which you might be thinking about as well. When you think, am I getting old? Or am I just learning? And the way I've just came up this mountain, I used to think I was getting old. Past 5 or 6 years or so, I've been really observant. I was hesitant to say worried there, because I wasn't worried, I was observant of myself slowing down, of taking my time, of making choices easier, of going slower. Because let me tell you, the last time I was up this mountain, I gave absolutely no time to enjoy it. I didn't. If you look around, I've literally climbed most, if not all, mountains I could see here. From Chroin to Dalmally, Loch Lomond, Glencoe and more. But I can barely remember any of them. Because up until I, as I say, started to age well, mature, not grow old, that's what we're going to talk about today. Ever since I did, I've just been absolutely loving my climbing, my exercise, and everything has just got better when I decided I'm going to just slow down. I'm seeing things again on hills I've already been on, mountains I've already tagged. It's like I've seen them for the first time. Do you ever get that? And I think, you know, it's not a bad thing, because you have to really experience being young, going 100 miles an hour in order to really appreciate things as you get older. And I mean, I'm certainly not old. I'm 42, the fittest I've ever been, strongest I've ever been. But I just want to say to you as well that if you're going through this, if you're thinking, oh man, I'm slowing down, and you may just not be, it may just be that you're just taking your time because you've realised it's not always a rush. We're up there, look, see up there, up the top of An Caisteal, the first mountain we're going up. It's in cloud. I've been taking my time. I've noticed everything around me. And even though I've been up here multiple times, I swear to you, I'm seeing that for the first time. Which is, again, I'm not going to say sad. I wouldn't say it's sad, but it's just, it shows you that it's worth doing things again as you get older, because there's doing things as, well, in each phase of your life. So you can't be like, oh well, I done that 10 years ago, or I done that 5 years ago. I realise now, well, that was a different version of me. This version of me hasn't done it. Actually, the first time I ever came up this mountain, or these two mountains, was a real big realisation for me, because I'm a solo hiker, solo mountaineer, solo adventurer. Always have been. I mean, I've of course go hiking with folks sometimes, with my wife, with a good friend of mine, but very rarely, because it's just something I like to do on my own, unless I'm with you, of course, because I love bringing you with me. I'll just get that caveat in there. But the first time I came up here, and it's very windy, so excuse me if I shout, but the first time I came up here, I'm not telling you it's windy, of course you know it's windy, you can hear it. The first time I came up here was a time when I decided, alright, I really should try one of these hiking groups, mountaineer groups. I wanted to get more into hiking in winter, and so I joined this winter hiking mountaineer group, and they were absolutely lovely people, I'll tell you that right now, but I turned up that day expecting to be like 3 to 6 people, 20 people. 20 lovely people who shared their skills and were really nice. But dude, that ain't for me, man. Solitude and hiking and adventuring just go hand in hand for me. And that's something really about aging for me, about realising, you know, I'm changing. Because when I was younger, I would always want to do stuff with people. Not always, but a lot of the times I'd be like, oh, I don't have anyone to go with. But now not having anyone to go with is what I'm after most of the time. This bit in here, by the way, is a lovely wee reprieve from the brunt of the wind. It would be good to camp if only there were a flat part, but there isn't. Know that I'm camping today. And by the way, if you're not aware, Scottish people, rather than saying no, like saying no, not today, a lot of us at least tend to say, no the day. Not today, no the day. I'm from Glasgow, in the lowlands of Scotland. Scotland's biggest city, and where the majority of the folk who hike the southern hills here in the Highlands come from. But that was when I came here the first time with that hiking group, mountaineering group, whatever. What's the difference? I came once and never again. Never again, man.
Here's what confuses me about myself. I like to do so much alone. Hike alone, lots of hobbies, but all my hobbies alone. I created a life of just being able to be alone so much, yet at the same time, I feel I crave friends, a social life, but then when those things come up and social occasions come up, I just want to be alone. I just want to be solo. And I toy with the thought, is it normal to want to be alone when you also want the company of people? But then when I get the company of people, as I say, all I want to do is quickly escape it and get to the company of myself. Me, myself and I, and more like me, myself, and the hills.
Oh, that was a mighty wee climb there. Spicy, man. Lan is another Scottish word. Or probably more West Coast, Southern West Coast, Glasgow and such. It means one. A spicy one. A spicy one. We're almost at the top of this first Munro. Let me just check how we're doing. Aye, 900 metres. We class mountains, we call Munros in Scotland. They have to be over about 914 metres, or 3,000 feet. And they have to have a drop at each side of their peak by about 152, I think it's 152.4 metres, or 500 feet. Old money. Look over there. The mountain in the clouds is Beinn More. The one after it, I think it's Stop Binion. It's been a while since I've been up there. And nearly all the way along a massive, awesome ridge. One of my earliest big adventures. I was bloody terrified, but we had a great time. And it leads all the way to Rob Roy's Cave. Look that up if you want to know some more about it. Almost at the summit now. And younger Paul would be, if he was with me, say I could clone my younger self and he was here with me, he'd be saying, come on, hurry up. Come on, don't stop, keep going. And me now just says, me now means me now. And me now, I would say, calm down. There's no rush. There's no rush. Always thought, and look, I'm sure you did, and I'm sure all young people do, but think that faster is better. But why would you do something slow when you could do it fast? And man, I could not contain my moxie for wanting stuff now. And I make such big plans and set such lofty goals, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, and I'm going to achieve them in 3 months, or 3 years even, and they were huge things. Some of the dumbass things I thought I would be able to achieve in short periods of time, man. And again, realising you were being silly. Isn't it getting old and boring? Isn't it means isn't. Isn't it? And Disney means doesn't. For those who don't speak Scot. Nice wee step here. But I'm gonna need to be careful in case my hat blows clean off my head. Off my head. So we're coming up here to what may be the summit. I can't remember if it is. But aye, the daft things I thought I could achieve. What a dafty. And look at this view coming in. The clouds are coming in and they're just kissing the top of the mountain. Hopefully. Well, I like when they're there actually. It's nice walking in the mountain, in the mountain tops with cloud. But I want you to see everything. You know, that's why I brought you here. Brought means brought. That's why I brought you here. You see, that's why I brought you here. Hello there, my name's Paul McIntyre. Thank you for joining the Tartan Hiker. I will now, for the English and the Americans, speak perfect English. No, I won't. Look at this big, mighty fall. Wowza kabowza. Let's see where this mountain has just been opened up. Probably by ice. I'm pretty sure you're going to see my hat go flying. We're going to need to do a wee bit of climbing here. Ooh. Gonna have to climb up that. But she'll be fine. But not as easy when you're holding a camera and a tripod. Right, to try and do this without breaking myself. Oh, yeah, by ya. There we go. And while we're here, let me show you my new shoes. I love them. Oh. They're trail runners. Trail running shoes, but for hiking in the decent weather. Let me. Oh, you see them? They are Brooks Cascadia, size 10, wide 2E, for I have big ass wide feet. And I overpronate. I need a lot of support. Took me a long time to get the right shoes. And it was a physio who eventually cracked the code for me. Shout out to Ian at Achilles Heel in Glasgow on Byers Road. Finally got me hooked up with the correct shoes. Right, up we go again, Padre. Okay, you're gonna have to do this with no hands so you can see it. There we go. No bother. no problem. And we're coming right up to the summit. But what do I do about my hat? I'm gonna have to just wear it real tight down in my head. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take it off. Because I'm just going to lose it. It's my new favourite hat. It's a Carhartt, and I found it last week. And I was en route to Glencoe. I found it tied to a fence on outside of some pub. So someone obviously lost it, and I found it. Thank you. Oh. Finders keepers, losers beepers. Right. I'm going to bloomin' lose my curls. Right, we're heading up to the summit of An Caisteal and 947 metres we're at. Oh, listen to that wind. But I'm not like resentful to young Paul, who was all gung-ho and wanted everything done super fast and set silly goals, because you learn from it. And I learned because I kept failing at so many things. I kept realising this just isn't happening. Every time. But why? I've got the plan. Why is it not working? And by Jimmy, me and my plans, all I ever done, pretty much throughout my whole 20s, was write feckin' plans. Speaking of plans, that's Beinn Chroin over there. So we're going to go up here, over there, and then down and back to the car. When we get to the top there, I'll bid you farewell. Oh, it's nice and quiet now. We've got some relief from the wind. But I learned so much from all that failing due to daft wee Paul thinking, oh, just, you know what it's like when you're younger. Like I said, all these silly goals and all these plans just taken for, well, wanting to do them in such a short space of time. But it is confusing or hard to think, why when you're young, super young, like under 30 or under 35, probably under 30 is super young. Mega young is under 25. You're pretty much a Wayne when you're that age, but I mean mega young and super young, with so much time to go. Why the rush? And I guess that's the lack of experience, you know. I guess that's just a point. I say we're talking about that you get to. Am I an old fart, or have I just learned? I think there is a bit of both there. I think there is. So I'll be checking them up. But see, with all these plans, all these endless plans, that of course didn't work out. Some of them did, of course. This plan worked out. But I thought I had to go round the ways and it would be you know, something, I'd have to do other things first when I should have just done the blooming main thing. But I thought because I had a plan, I had control. And that's one thing I learn as I get older, and you might too, that having a plan doesn't mean you have control. Like, I have a plan for getting up this climb here with quite a drop on the other side. I have a plan, but I'm not in control of the wind. I'm not in control of a wee bit of rock that could fall away. I guess I have the illusion of control. Or at least I have a plan. Here we are. Now this might be the summit. The summit what done it. So I'll let you see that. No, as is typical for mountaineering in Scotland, it's a false summit. And if you didn't ken what a false summit is, by the way, didn't ken is Scottish for don't know. If you don't know or didn't ken what a false summit is, I suppose you can figure it out. It just means when you think you're at the top, you think you're at the summit, but you ain't. There's some, if I could see away in the distance, man, you'll never see it, but there's a mountain over there called Schiehallion, and that is where it has a mountain. It has a lot of false summits. And there's one over there as well. Oh, it's in cloud. We could see it a minute ago. But the cloud's coming. It's called Beinn. A lot of false summits on that. Oh, and there's another one near it called Beinn and Luss. False summitorama. Oh. Bogey patrol. If you don't know what bogies are, it means snot. If you don't know what that is, it's that stuff that comes out your nose. If you don't know what out means, it means out. If you don't know what, find out for yourself, you arsehole. One of my favourite. Actually, look, the clouds are coming in. Look at that. We are about to be engulfed in cloud. How awesome is that? I told you it's nice being in cloud. We managed to get the start of it. Here I am talking about bogies. And we could be watching this beautiful cloud come in over the summit of An Caisteal. Oh! It's just a wee bit, mind you, but it's absolutely wonderful. You can see it's pretty much the end. These clouds are going to pass, but some may come over from Arica over there. Wow. I may even get to put my bonnet on. Bonnet is what we Scots call a hat. But no, I won't bother, because as soon as I go over the crest of this mountain, the wind will be back. Let me sit your arse there. While I get a tissue out. Or a hanky, as we call them here. By having a plan can lull you into a false sense that you're in control. That's what I've really figured out. as I get older. Oh, look at this crow. It made the coolest noise there. I wonder if the mic picked it up. Probably no in this wind. I understand that we Scots say no rather than not a lot. But if we're getting older, do you know what the turning point for me was? And I remember speaking to my gran about this. My grandmother, who passed away in 2013. My granny Catherine. This is my first real big aging thing I realised, and that was, we touched on it earlier, but things take time. And it's something that, at least for me getting older, that I've come to accept. I used to be so desperate to just get to the point where this plan or this goal would just be achieved. But now I'm like, no, it's fine, that'll take a couple of years. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I would rather have the thing now. But there's no point in getting excited about having it sooner when it's just nonsense. You know, you just can't get it that soon. These hills are a place called Chroin, spelled like this. For years I thought it was pronounced Clonlarich. And actually the wee village of Clonlarich is just along there. I mean, the whole area here, like Clonlarich, Stirling. But I was there staying at the Best Western Hotel. And I went over to the pub for some chips. Worst chips I've ever had in my life, by the way. And got speaking to an old guy who lived there. Who lived in a house across the road, actually. And if you're from Chroin and watching this by chance, you probably know who I mean. As he said, he lived there a long, long time, maybe all his life. He has a collie dog, old guy. Not that old, he's maybe in his 60s, but I wouldn't say that's old, but bald white hair. And I was confused. I thought there was more to Chroin. Like, was there another centre of it or whatever? But no, it's just like a tiny wee bit. Like almost a literal stone's throw from start to finish. And I said to him, so what, is there anything else at Chroin? Like, where else is there? And he looks at me and he goes, this is it. Like in the most devastated, like, I am so sick of this place. This is it. Can you believe this? No, the hills. He wasn't talking about the hills. He was talking about just the wee tiny village of Chroin. And I'll be honest, I can't even say to you, yeah, it's a lovely wee quaint thing with things to do, things to see. There's nothing there. It's a train station, some shops like a Londis or something. It's like a stop-off place. Some lovely houses. Some nice people, of course. People always nice and smiley. There's some houses. But it's the kind of place where you have to drive everywhere, like everywhere in the Highlands. But here we are at the true summit. Let's go have a look. the proper summit, and we're at, wait a sec, I'll check the height. 990 metres. This is a real tall one. It's An Caisteal. Here we go, mate. Here, highest point. Let's have a wee look at the watch again. There. 900, oh you can't see that, 992 metres. Which is this many feet. Let me guess, 992 metres is about 3,200, no, 3,300 feet or something like that, I don't know. But here's some more beautiful cloud coming across. Oh yeah, dirty, I nearly fell.
For years I was actually terrified to hike in cloud. I thought when you're in cloud you can't see anything in front of you. I've always been pretty scared of everything, to be honest. Everything needs a huge breakthrough, but the first time I was surrounded in cloud I realised you can see quite far in front of you.
Yeah, it's where we're headed. So as you can see, it's going to be quite the steep yin to get up to the summit there. Let's go get a proper appreciation of the whole mountain itself, of Beinn, Chroin.
It was just one of those things that, you know, you hold on to. The fears of going outside. That fear that I'm going to suddenly just expire, but I had that for so long, for so many years, and I'm not going to lie, it's still there, but I can deal with it much better now. I can talk myself off the ledge. So, sometimes, literally.
Oh! Wagga! But here, look at the rocks being exposed there. I say the rocks being exposed, but the rocks are actually the mountain. That's the way it was at first. And over millennia, millions of years, the soil got blown up here. The rocks wore down into soil even. Some of which something I found hard to believe when I read that soil can come from rock. Apparently it can. This is a bit of a... This will put my new shoes to the test. There we go. Easy. Easy. Right, that's how mountains become grassy. And I've been hiking a lot, mountaineering a lot, adventuring a lot in Glencoe of late. One of my favourite places. But Glencoe is a land of real rocky mountains, bouldery mountains. I mean, you can see, if you check out like this video, maybe even this video, you will see that there's fair and rocky. There is a lot of grass as well, don't get me wrong, but before I get back to that, you'll see there's a wee bit of water down there in what we call a loughin, which is basically a wee bit of water on a hill or high up. I'm going to put my hat on. Too tight for my big head. Head means head. Right, and that wee loughin, I noted that was there when I planned the walk out on the map, because I don't start with a lot of water. I like to find it as I go to save weight. I usually start with a half litre of sugar water, like a Lucozade Sport or maybe a Fanta or something, and a half litre of normal water. I have them in my bag, so I've got a litre, which is sometimes plenty, and will be plenty for this, because it's not too hot today. Today is, let me tell you, whoa, let me shut up for a second. Look at the locking on that. Well, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a big ass lake on the top of that mountain. I think I may be wrong. So tell me, as I said to the desert, am I right or am I wrong? I think this is Slabbers. I think this is Ben Chabir, or Ben Chabher. Pretty sure it's been up it before. But I missed that locking. See, that's because I used to go too fast and not even pay blooming attention. Starting to see wee marbles of quartzite there. Some more cloud coming in. Absolutely beautiful. And so that's our destination over there at Chroin. And it's just like, I mean, isn't the ultimate part of life when you finally realise it's about the journey, not the destination? That's something I used to hear when I was younger, and I'd be like, shut up! Shut up! But my goodness, it so is. It so is. I think I'm the kind of person who would annoy young Paul. Young Paul would see me as being like boring, not spontaneous enough. But you know what? I think spontaneity is, it's like overrated, because I think a lot of what we call spontaneity is actually impatience. Let's do something crazy! Let's just do something stupid. Which is fine. You can do it now and again. But a lot of times just an excuse for no wanting to plan, and for just being like, it's kind of like giving up on just waiting till the right time. There is, again, absolutely time for spontaneity. I do it myself. Like when I go out to go on these adventures, I very rarely plan them. I quite often just get in the car and see what happens. I have the map, of course. I take the map, I have a look at the map. I say, aye, right, I'll go there. But you know what isn't spontaneous? The fact that I need a push. Scottish for pee. So, I'm going to lay you up to enjoy this view. Try and not get you wonky. Willy wonky. Well, I Willy wonky myself. Just look at all the green here. Excuse me for talking while I pee, but can you believe it? It must seem really mind-blowing to people who live in, not mind-blowing, but just different, you know, folk who live in like Australia, Spain. I know they have their areas that can be kind of like this, but I mean, this is all of Scotland. I mean, all of Scotland is like this. Even the cities, like where I live, Glasgow, is absolutely full of trees and water and streams and hills, and I can't imagine not living in a place like this. I mean, of course, the Highlands is the Highlands, but even the Lowlands has areas, you know, like this, where the cities are. Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen, Inverness, other, they're all just in between and part of the Highlands and Lowlands. And because they're called Lowlands, or proper pronunciation Lowlands, doesn't mean the lands are low, far from it. Still all hills. But there's no rush. As I say about the destination and taking your time more. Oh yeah, I could deal with that more. And I think that's success. You know, I think being happy with the journey, just being all in on trying to live in now as much as possible. True happiness is in that, man. And the fact is, most folk tend to learn that 3 or 4 decades in and more. I think it's an honour to realise it, and it's a real pillar of life. It's a real pillar of just, you know, just being a successful human being, doing it right, no doing it shite. Trying to decide which way to go here, because it's pretty gnarly. I'll go around that, come down here. Just going to wiggle my toes for a second. But things take time, and I used to think that folk who have patience are kind of showing a lack of ambition. Folk who can rein things in to be like, no, this is enough. Or, you know, I just want a wee bit more, I don't need tons. Folk who are happy to move. Cool rocks. Folk who are happy to move laterally. And oh man, that's something I would never approve of when I was a young and moving laterally. Really need to tie these shoes a bit tighter, as I only gave them a loose tie before I left the house, and I forgot to redo them, as I always do before I I don't mean always forget, I mean I always retie them before I start the hike, but because my feet are sliding down them. But I'm with company, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not sure if we'll get to the very peak of Beinn. Beinn or Chroin together, because it looks like it's pretty far away and I don't want to take up too much of your time. But we'll see. Have a look at that. I mean, come on. That's, the loch over there is Loch Lomond. This mountain over here is Beinn Lomond. The mountain over there is totally flat at the top is Beinn Narnain, the one I was talking about earlier that was in cloud. The one beside that is a cross, or a croice, I don't know how to say it. And just over here, I'll show you when we go over the hill, is Loch Katrine, which is the loch where the Glasgow area gets most of its water. Get it from Loch Katrine, from Greenlaw Reservoir, from Mugduck Reservoir, and Mulgai. You may know Mulgai as the start of the West Highland Way. Quick check of the map. I of course have a paper map, but I prioritise using the phone where possible, because why not? I don't see the point of saying no to technology. I'm happy to use all trails. But I have a map and a compass with me of the area, so should the phone die, well, I have a charger. Actually, I have two chargers. There's a charger plugged into the camera and there's a spare charger in my bag. Should both those chargers die, I have the paper map and the compass. What if I lost my map and compass as well? Well, there's trodden paths. It's really not the kind of place you could get lost, to be honest. But anyway, I'm very good at natural navigating as well. And it's really simple. I mean, I've got Beinn Shabir, or whatever it's called, on my right. I have Beinn Moor on my left. I have, as you'll see in a second, Beinn Lomond directly in front of me. Oh, there it's there. There's the Beinn over there. Not the Beinn. The Beinn is Ben Nevis. So I would comfortably come up here, or could come up here, without a map, without a phone, without any GPS, and be absolutely fine. And to be fair, I could do that on most mountains, but I never do, because why would I? What's the point? When I was younger, I actually stupidly used to think that like being so prepared was being kind of lame, if you can believe that. Like I wanted to be like Bear Grylls and Ray Mears and just go straight for it. Stupid young'un. Stupid young'un. There's someone up at one of the summits. But then there's the things which aren't just getting wise about aging, which are just facts. That no matter how hard you try to deny it or put your head in the sand about it or not be sure about it, are just fact. And recovery's a major one. Because even though younger Paul could go hell for leather, and I could go hell for leather now, but I know I can't recover like I used to. And no matter how fit I get, and again, I'd say I'm fitter now than I always was, but just something with Father Time just decides you're going to take a little bit more time to regenerate. But then again, it's fine because I'm no longer interested in going hell for leather all the blooming time. I can chill, I can take my time. And I won't always, like, I'll make the choice which saves my knees, or saves too many moves, or saves jumping off a thing. Not because of any of that bullshit, like, oh, you get over 30 or over 40 and your knees go. Nonsense, man. That's just something people buy into, which we'll talk about more later. But no, because it all adds up. The damage adds up. And whether you're 25, 35, 45, it adds up throughout the years, and you only get so many, I don't know, say you only get so many steps, you only get so many chances of not injuring yourself, and damage adds up. And so if I can remove unnecessary damage from my life, I think that's a good thing. Like in the gym as well, I stopped doing certain things, not because I have an issue, but I don't think it's worth this strain at this point in my life. And that's things like an overhead military press, a shoulder press, deadlift, squat, any sort of pushing over my head or pushing away from myself, like chest press. Too much pressure on the shoulders, too much compression of the back. And yeah, I feel okay with it, but damage adds up. So part of getting older and getting wiser, two of which don't go hand in hand, by the way, you have to discover this shit. And part of it is just being mature enough to realise, you know what, I'm not so old that I'm going to be like, oh no, I can't do that anymore, no. It's just saying, I've realised it's just not worth it. It'll probably be fine, but where's the benefit and the risk? Thank you very much. This lovely wee top here. It'll be peeking its own. Peeking out. Out means out, but I guess you can figure that out. Or did I already mention it at the start? How far we got? Yeah. But with the top comes the recovery. Let me tell you, if I could give you one piece of advice about, aging properly, aging better, it's really, drum roll, it's really, man, prioritise your sleep, dude. That is, I cannot tell you how revolutionary that is. There's not enough people do. Climb up, said we peak here. Not enough people prioritise sleep. And it shouldn't be I'll try and get some more sleep in. It should be, oh no, I'm getting sleep in. It should be like, oh, that thing finishes at this time. Sorry, can't do it. I need to go to sleep. I'll be in bed at that time. And that's something which definitely will make you sound old. But it's the total opposite, man. It's wise. That's probably the biggest improvement I've made in my life. Certainly in the last year. Even during the World Cup there was matches on I really wanted to see, but they were on late. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not staying up to 12 o'clock because then it'll mess up my sleep. So I normally get up at like 6:30. Well, I think I've climbed myself into a corner here. Oh no, I can go down there. You see, it's quite a drop down there. I can't go down there. I can go down there though. These new shoes are good, but I just need to tie them better. Crikey. This really isn't the kind of thing you should be doing one-handed, but it is a good grip. There we go. Look at the drop there, wow. Look at the drop on that. And don't worry if I fall, I'll keep holding the camera, I'll keep rolling. I'll film my demise. Whoa, sorry about that. There we go. I was just talking about how you don't have to take unnecessary risks. Yeah, I climbed that thing when I could have followed the path around it. Doesn't mean you say no to everything. Not at all. And it looks like we're going to have a real downhill situation there. How do we get down here? As I've been busy talking, I haven't even noticed that I've walked off the path. These shoes have been good, very grippy, but I'm a bit worried how much my feet are slipping down the bottom of them. Hopefully it's just because I haven't tied them properly. Whew. An awesome valley down there, just awesome. Actually, I'll be arrested for saying valley. Call them glens in Scotland. Valley. I'll valley you. That's something Glasgow parents always used to say to their weans. Like you'd say, I'm tired. They go, I'll tired you. Or I want to go down to the valley. I'll go down to your valley. Actually, that sounds kind of messed up. I want ice cream cone. Oh, you'll get an ice cream cone. What does that mean? There's a cool wee end. Who knows what's over the other side? Oh, we've got us another spicy wee climb here, and we're almost at that wee loch-in I was telling you about. This is a real fun one, this. I have Zero recollection of this, even though I've done it a few times. Zero. You see the scratches here. You can see them all up and down. That is crampons for folk hiking it in winter. Crampons, if you don't know, are spiky shoes. You attach them to your shoes, to your boots, whatever. Winter hiking is awesome. Winter's my favourite time to go adventures. Now they call wee climbs like this scrambling. Now it's super easy if you're young and fit. Not if you're young and fit. If you're fit and strong, you don't have to be young. But if not, then it's definitely no mountain I would recommend, because there is quite a bit of scrambling here and there, and there's some more up there too, if I remember at least that, I think. Ooh. Oh, worried about these shoes, man, worried about these shoes. Ooh. But getting to bed on time, as I say, priority for me, priority. Because even if I try and get to bed by 10, but if I get there, even if I go to bed at 12, my body will still wake me up at like 6:30. I can't just, oh well, I'll go to bed 2 hours later, so I'll get up 2 hours later. It's not how it works. And I might end up needing a nap the next day, which I always try to avoid, because a nap just ruins my sleep that next evening. It's just, man, sleep is, like I say, it's just the source of everything, man. So just sort your sleep out and prioritise it, would be my advice to you, since you didn't ask. Wonderful big mountain, it looks like a face. Not mountain, sorry, just rock. Beautiful. This An Caisteal and Caisteal, not sure how you pronounce it, has been fantastic. I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. But go to like sorting your sleep out is one of those things that, don't worry, you're not getting old. It's something that should be taken care of your whole life, even though you don't need it as much when you're younger. But as you get older, you do, and as you do a lot of exercise like I do, you need it. And there's a rhetoric online, it's a common thing about, making fun of millennials for like aging out. That's kind of like getting old. Like it used to, one was millennials 2 hours before work in the 2000s, and then it's some millennial partying, and then it says millennials and now 2 hours before work, and it's them in the gym. And yeah, it's funny, and I guess it's not necessarily meant to be derogatory, but so many folk, man, just tend to look down on the fact that, oh man, I used to party, look at me now. This dude, if you're still partying, going to nightclubs, and you're, dare I say in your 30s, man, but like certainly in your 40s, what are you doing, man? Like, for me, like if I was still going to nightclubs now at the age of 42, I would be saying to myself, like, what went wrong? What went wrong that you can face being awake until 4 in the morning? Because to me, 4 in the morning doesn't exist. I don't know of it. Anything beyond maximum 1 a.m. is just terrifying to me. 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. are ghosts. But as a millennial, just wanting to wind down and just, I'm all zen. A lot of millennials are like that. They protect their peace and they, but like buy old video games they used to have. And I'm all for that, man. I don't see it as anything to be embarrassed about. That I, as a millennial, I'm now at a point where I'm winding down. It's no winding down, it's just being happy with where you are. Because I could party with the best of them back in the day, and I had an awesome time. I was in bands going crazy, and it's really, I had amazing times. Those times are gone. I never want to recreate them. And it's just a chapter. And a part of being successful, getting older, is realising that your life is in chapters. You don't need to look back and be like, oh man, I used to this, I used to that. But it's what do you do now? And if you're not happy with it, then you need to find something. But you don't need to recreate your youth. And that's what I tried to do for a while, and at various times, just try to be like, man, I used to be going out partying all the time, and I used to go to gigs all the time and be in bands, and now you look at me, man, in bed by 10. I quickly got over it each time it happened. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't for a long time, but I remember one time after being off it for like 2.5 years, I missed those times and I started drinking again, and it was awesome for maybe a month, and then it just became awful. My body was wrecked from it, and it just undone so many good things. And I didn't drink for 8 years, and then I started drinking again, and the exact same thing happened. And boy, that'll never happen again. Never, never, never. I can't imagine drinking alcohol now. I really believe that alcohol is something that should be part of a phase of your life. It should be part of a phase that you grow out of. Because you realise that you get the same thing back as you always get. You always get the same results from boozing. It's not like, oh, this time might be different. No, same results, and it gets worse as you get older. I know there's something to be said for the stress relieving qualities of drinking alcohol, but there really is other things. And like so many millennials have quit drinking, like me. I haven't drunk for most of my adult life, but when I did, I went hard, man. I still toy with the thought, was I an alcoholic? Maybe. Because when I was drinking, I thought about it all the time. Like 24 hours a day, I thought about, okay, there has to be a way I can generate an excuse to drink tonight. And not even drinking to get Larry, to get drunk. I actually rarely got drunk. In my, towards the end of my drinking the last couple of years, because I realised, because I was always someone who couldn't get drunk. I don't get drunk, I get sick. Which there in itself shows you it's no for you, mate. But so I was very good at bringing myself to the brink of being drunk and then pulling it back, knowing which drinks to consume to kind of help me just glide for a while, and maybe go back to the pints or whatever. And it just wasn't a good place, man. So like, don't be worried about slowing down. It's no slowing down, it's learning and recalibrating. Isn't it amazing, all these boulders, to think that this mountain, probably multiple of these mountains were one, and they all were much bigger, and they broke apart because of water getting in them and ice breaking them. Erosion, because of the Loch Lomond Ice Age. The major part of the Ice Age in Scotland started in Loch Lomond. That's why Loch Lomond is so deep and the mountains so high around it. The ice glacier moved up and out of Loch Lomond, carved everything in its path. The whole Ice Age didn't just start here, but it was a major epicentre in Loch Lomond. And here is Beinn Chroin, the next mountain. Wow, what a great one that was. Let me just check the old map. Identity is such a big one as well, with growing up. And that's really something that I was really happy to let go of. As I go older and wiser, I used to be so into trying to have people know that I am me, and this is what I am. I wear these clothes, I do this thing. But now man, I could care less. Could care less, dude. Gotta get a drink. Well, look, because I need to get smaller hiking poles, because these long ass ones I've got, when I try and sit down, like I was trying to climb down there, it makes me uneven. So I'm going to have to invest in some foldable ones, which I used to have in my ultra running days, but I got rid of them. I got an injury that stopped me running. Now that desire to have people know I'm into this and I'm into that, that's just gone. I mean, who cares, and what's the point? Because then you're living for someone else.
Since I have stopped having any interest in projecting who I am, I find it's made a more sort of reclusive life. Because perhaps folk just don't seem that drawn to me because I'm not putting out the signals that I want you to be drawn to me, you know. I don't have to show the world what I'm into. I can reveal it when you get to know me, but It does create kind of a quieter life, and I'm not saying I'm right, it just works for me.
It's just so amazing being here and in this place, and to think that this was the same before humans were here. Wow, man. What is in this pocket? Look, a piece of tissue that's went through the wash. Excellent. I must speak to my cleaner. I'll take you to the wee lock in here. And that desire to impress people, that is something that goes for old people or for folk who get older very commonly. A lot of people can go that way in a resentful way, but me, I'm just like, I am so uninterested in impressing people that I can actually kind of come across a bit of a dick sometimes, I think. And I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, what do you like to do, Paul? And they'll be like, this and that. I know, because I feel like when I talk about things I do, I'm trying to sound impressive. I mean, I talk about things I do, like if I say like, oh well, I do this for a living and I write books and I make content, and it can kind of, I worry, does it sound like I'm showing off? Because I'm not, because I don't care about trying to impress you. But yeah, that's one of the first to go, man. And here's said Lochan. Isn't it beautiful? And that shot there, check that. Beautiful Lochan. Actually, let me put you in. Oh, look at this. Look at that shot. It's maybe not the straightest, but we're right here in the middle of these two amazing mountains, An Caisteal, Beinn, Chroin, and look across there, across this amazing Bealach. A Bealach is what you call a part which two mountains join. We have a wee Lochan, a source of water and life, and right through there is the first Munro in Scotland, Ben Lomond. That is a shot. That is a view, mate. That could win all the competitions. And this is what's next. Climbing up to the top of Beinn, Chroin. But is it time? Aye, is it time to say goodbye? Because we are an hour 20 minutes in and I don't like keeping your time too much. Because that's probably another half hour. And I don't know if I want to take up your time that much. So I think I'm going to say goodbye here. But is that bad? Is that bad because I've tingled and tantalised your taste buds? You know what? I'll take you up. It won't take that long. I mean, look at what we're at now. 85 minutes, 1 hour, 25 minutes. It'll probably take me 15 minutes to get to the top of that. And then I'll bid you farewell, mate. Do you know what? This has been wonderful. This has been wonderful sharing this time with you, man. Because this is, I can't contain it. You know, I can't contain it sometimes how much I love this. How much I love my country of Scotland. How much I love adventuring. How much I love making content and you being here with me. I just love it, man. Hop, buddy, hip, buddy, hop, buddy, hop. So there's no competition, man. It's awesome. But you know what? Competition. There's beautiful wee birds singing. That is something that, oh, I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Mine's is better, is it? Good. I'm going to get there first. Good for you, mate. My car's nicer. Enjoy. My bobby's bigger. Alright, that one, I'll take that, but aye, that's a sign of ageing as well, that one of the things I was glad that just evaporated from me. I used to feel the sense of competition a lot. Even doing this, and if there'd be someone hiking further up to me, from me, I would want to catch up. But I would just do it at the detriment of my hike, of my adventure, and what have you really won? You know, I get competition if you're in an actual competition, but in real life, who cares, mate? Who cares? Who cares? If it's not directly affecting you, who cares? Someone has something a little bit better. Even though you're fine with yours, who cares? I mean, okay, competition, you could use it for a bit of motivation. I get that. But just this, envy. No thank you. Couldn't care less, man. I look down this glen here. Just wonderful, and you could just about see through to Loch Lomond again. And this thought of competition was like, it's just insecurity, isn't it? It's just, oh, man, it's just, no being secure and happy in yourself. If you're like always trying to pointlessly compete with other people, be it overtaking someone for no reason, when you're driving, trying to one up someone, maybe even someone you love, for no reason other than, well, you want to finish ahead. There are situations, as I say, that it can be used as a driver, but for the most part, who cares, man? Got quite a climb coming up here. It'll be a nice wee spicy one. And most insecurities are just human anyway. It's just being a human. Not things that need fixed. It's just being a human being. And man, if I had just let myself be a vulnerable human being and process things rather than live in the future and just covet what other people had, I would have had a lot more comfortable youth, especially my 20s. We touched earlier on the nonsense of people say, oh, when you're over 30 or over 40, your knee goes or your back goes. And it's just something I never bought into. You're supposed to start saying, oh, it's my age. That's my age showing. If that. It's up to you, man. Aye, Father Time plays a part, but You know, the best things, I always say this, if folk are saying things like that I love, I'll let I know. And it's don't let the old person in. Don't let them in. Because they're trying to ruin you. They're trying to be like, oh, you've got grey hair now, you're getting white hair. That means your knees must go. That means you're not going to be able to do these things you used to. And you start to accept it. And you start to believe it. Never, ever let the old person in. And I don't care if you're watching this and you're in your 70s. Never let the old person in. I said it to, there was this old guy, he said he was 72 and he doesn't get up the hills anymore. And I said, oh, why not? He said, oh, because I'm 72. I said, what does your age have to do with it? And it surprised me how stunned he was from it. I don't know if anyone had ever said to him, well, does it matter? I think mostly because people have folk around them saying, oh, you can't do that now. That's not for you. Get down for there, Jeffrey. You're 65 years old. And he was really struggling for an answer. He said, well, my wife and my daughter wrapped me in cotton wool. And look, I'm not going to be some young guy here saying, oh, it's easy being 60, 70, 80. Of course not, when I'm 20, 30 years younger than you. I know, again, Father Time comes for you. But you've got to go kicking and screaming. You've got to be in bloody denial to a point. And I'm not talking about if health things come in. You know, I know things happen. But for all of my life, I will be saying to myself, don't let the old person in. It's accepting a fate that people expect of you. I mean, people just think folk are useless. Older folk are useless. I mean, even me being over 40, sometimes you get the reaction from folk, really? And they'll say that thing, oh, but you look great for 40. Is I, what the frink do you think I'm going to look like? I'm 40, no 400. I know millennials at 40 look a lot better than a lot of our previous generations did. A lot younger, should I say. But I don't even see it as a compliment when someone says to me, oh, you look like in your mid-30s. Oh, I thought you were about 33 or whatever. I'm not going to be like, oh, really? Oh, thanks so much. I don't care. I'm 42 and I'm proud of it and I'm not trying to hide it. I don't care. I don't want to look younger. I'm not chasing youth. I'm chasing the best version of me now. We're almost at the top of this hill, this mountain, Beinn Chroin. I know I've taken a lot of your time up, Fred. Ooh. Our time together is almost over. I just want you to see the top here. Is it here? It might be here. There's some sort of spicy climb. Again, it's been years. It's been 2018 was the last time I was here. Like where we just were. I don't, it's in cloud. See the cloud there? Which means it's coming for this hill. Bye. So it's been, what's that, 2018, so it's been 8 years since I've been here. I think there's a big climb here. This might be it. You can see there, quite a drop to the side of me. Oh, here it is, aye. Right. Okay, I remembered one thing for once. Need to climb up there. That's no bother. That's a one-hander. Famous last words when I come crashing down. Okay, let's get another tight look at it. It's a fun one. There's quite a bounce off it and down to the bottom. Should one slip. Okay. Okay, I think I'm talking nonsense. I need a second hand for this. And these hiking trousers are no good, they're too tight. Like they're not movie a booty. Okay. There we are. Oh, that was it. Easy. Don't actually have to go up there. Oh, but you can see it's a fair drop. Oh wow, oh yes. Oh yes, that's a fair drop that. That's a fair drop. Oh, I'm in danger of losing my bonnet again. Oh. Right. Almost at safety. Almost at bonnet safety as well. Right. My mother-in-law always says it was the man with the bonnet that done it. Don't know why. Oh. Quick check how long we've come. Yeah. But I wonder what would be like if I, as a 42-year-old, was transposed into my 22-year-old body. Oh, I wouldn't like that. Because I'd be like, Paul, why are you so unfit? Why can you not do a push-up? Why can you not run a mile? Why are you drinking so much? I suppose he wouldn't have anything to say, because I'd be him. But I'm going to be harsh on him if I could talk to him. Like I say, because it was worth it. I don't have regrets about being a... Excuse me. Fix the lens. Wee wipe. I don't have regrets about being a daft young'un. Just the way it is, you know, I had a blast. I was an idiot, but I always rein myself in at the right point. We're almost at the top. Thanks so much for staying with me. I just want you to see the top here. We might not go to the very, very peak, as long as I can get to a wee pointy bit to show you. Because I would hate to have taunted it all this time and not took you up with me. Oh, look at this. Big black slug. Yeah, they're very common in the Highlands. See them everywhere. I like it when you see them. I once fed a snail. I was in my garden. I cut a radish into a wee julienne strip, a wee tiny thin batten. I put it to where I thought its mouth was, and it opened its wee asterisk shaped mouth and ate it. It was amazing. Here we go. Right. So, again, oh look at this. Lovely loching. And would you believe it? My camera just broke. My tripod just gave up. Oh man. Oh, that's just great. That is just wonderful. Well, here is a beautiful, beautiful loching at the top of Beinn Chroin. But when it comes to getting old versus ageing, then aye, there's a bit of both going on there. You can't deny yourself. But aye, like I say, it's about not letting the old person in. I think it's a true sign of success that as you get older you can just say, you know, I'm proud of who I am. I've mellowed. I've slowed down. So I think slowing down is a real sign. A real sign that you've made some huge progress, man, as a human being. It's right over there, the top. The true top, but this is a good enough top. And as my tripod's broke, this is what we're dealing with as I say goodbye. Right, that'll do. And here come the clouds. The clouds are coming in from the Clan MacLeod. And this is a nice way to fade to white. It's been my favourite adventure so far. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you came, and I really do hope you'll join me again. Check out our other adventures on my channel, or remember to come check the Scottish Adventure companion hikes every Saturday at 9 AM with me, Paul McIntyre. And just remember, you're not getting old, you're learning. Don't let the old person in. You're welcome here, and I'm glad you're here. See you later.